looks like we're live. Gray, overcast day here in Asakusa. Not raining yet, but it's going to be. There's a guy who runs a coffee shop across the street. He's just heading in there. It's called Machiaishitsu, the place to meet, since 1979 or something like that. It's actually quite well known. Very old-fashioned coffee shop. Brown and a cigarette smoke stain on the walls. Very old-fashioned. We have a nice floater this morning. Good, okay. All right, we have a ton of work to do. Most of it, you know what's going on this morning. You know the carving work is on the bench. It's still the color blocks. I still forgot they're buried by the other crap that somebody dumped on here yesterday afternoon. Well, yesterday afternoon I was upstairs all day. I didn't come down here at all. And boom. So we are, when we get all the crap out of the way here, we're going to be working on the color blocks still for this month's print. But in front of that, on top of that, is the mic lower than usual. I haven't touched it since yesterday, so whatever you're hearing is whatever level we had yesterday. Haven't touched anything. The audio you hear from me is coming from the computer itself, so when I turn away and mumble around, it doesn't get good. Okay, what have we got here? What have we got? Some things to show actually before show and tell. We have a show and tell, but before we do that, the next batch of October prints. No, these are September prints. The first group is gone. They were mailed on the 1st. Each month we split them into 3 groups. 1/3 of the people get them on the 1st of the month. We post them on the 1st of the month. The next group of subscribers, they get posted on the 11th of the month. Then another group gets posted on the 21st. We have to level them out. Otherwise, everything goes to our Ome workshop. They've got 300 packages to send on one day. No, so we split it through the month. This is, well, I can boost the audio if you want. It's almost at max. It's at -1 dB. It's almost at the max that I can broadcast from here, but whatever. I want to show you these, but I can't. It's the best thing we've ever made. Whatever. All right, what do I have here? Oh, these are the blocks. I don't know. Aimi-san told me she'd put them here. These are the blocks for Bonodori, and they need a few touch-ups before we get to work on the normal one. So we'll be doing that this morning. Carving our color blocks, but before that, we have to do some touch-up work on the Bonodori blocks. But before that, let's open this little box that arrived here. This is not part of today's show and tell. It's a box that arrived from the US of A. And if I show you who it came from, you'll know what's inside it. It came from Steve over in, I thought it was in Brooklyn. It says the Bronx. Is that the same place? Woodblocks. 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 1, 2, 3, and some samples. New publication coming up just in time for the year-end season. Let's find the key block. Maybe that was the key block. Yeah, maybe that was the key block. As you can see, it's a postcard size print. Steve needs some bigger chisels, actually. He needs some bigger chisels. He's also carving too much away. I've got to talk to the guy. He's carving too much away. He's carved everything away. The paper's going to flop in this corner. This is not good. We need the support for the paper in this corner. The printers are going to have to make one. They're going to have to put something there. No, he's carved way too much away. Steve, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Way too much, way too much. Okay, they're usable, but it's going to be much more difficult for the printers to use. Okay, anybody got the image? Anybody got the image? There's the nominal key block here, though it's not really an outline. We have some grasses, and we have a boat, I guess. We have a sky block and more tones. Somebody's saying, so it got snow, it does indeed have snow. Okay, I think he's also sent, I believe, I haven't seen them yet, he must have taken proof copies. So let's have a look at one. It says here, first proof. We'll be doing it quite a bit different. We'll be doing it quite a bit darker than this, but this is the image. It's a very, very interesting design for legal reasons. It's a Hasui reproduction. This is just like a cut from the blocks. We'll be printing it much, much deeper and richer color than this, but this is the done. It's a scene that's not too far from here, actually. I saw a photograph this morning. Somebody sent me a photograph of the Sumida River going north from here. And in the distance, you can see the Arakawa River. And just as the Arakawa River in the distance goes down, I'm talking about a photograph nobody else can see, this location is there just at the right-hand side over on the Arakawa River. It's a Hasui reproduction, and it's really, really interesting because it exists in two versions in Hasui's day. One is the postcard version that we see here. We're reproducing a version from the Watanabe company. All we know is it's pre-war. We have no idea when the first version of this was made. But also, the same thing exists. I don't have a link to it because I wasn't expecting this to be here. Somebody could Google it. If they look up Doihanga Hasui Arakawa, we see the same design published by the Doihanga company. So it seems that Hasui, back in the day, got a request from some company, okay, designed something, sent it off, they published it, got a request from another publishing company, Doi and Watanabe. I have no idea which one was first. He sold the same design to two different people. Cute, nice work if you can get away with it. Or one of those companies just saw it and said, hey, I think that's kind of cool. I think we'll publish that as well. I don't know how it works. But it's there, it's out there. The same design is published by two different companies in the same era. I don't know the detailed background of why and how Hasui worked for both. I know far and away most of his published stuff is with Watanabe. Clearly he was Watanabe's #1 earner. He was Watanabe's #1 earner through all those years, but he also did work for Doihanga and for a company called Kawaguchi. There's also publications of his now which are Shobisha, but I think that was an offshoot from Watanabe. I don't know the history. So I don't know. Okay, thank you, Steve. I'll be talking to you very soon. Very soon. Thank you for this. So this is going to go upstairs now for some proof printing. Well, Steve's already done some proof printing, so we may just look at the proofs and go ahead with a real edition. And that will be in our catalog any day now. Any day now. Thank you, Steve. And I wanted him to get going on the next one, but he says he's busy with work at the moment for JED-SAM. So Steve is doing another project for JED. And isn't available for me right now. Okay, what Aimi-san wants with these blocks, let me show you. the block set is now pretty much ready for Bon Odori, but when the blocks come to us from the carver, this set was done for us by Kawasaki-san in Kobe, and she carves, this is what that other block should have done. Here's your printing area, and you've got 3 fingers all around. So when your paper goes on, the paper is supported and doesn't flop down. The blocks we just saw, too much was carved away and the paper is free to flop, which is not what we want to happen. Anyway, as I said, Kawasaki-san carves the blocks for us very nicely, very neatly, very cleanly. She's doing a very nice job, but she's not sure. She carves the registration marks the way that she was trained many, many years ago. And they don't match the way we work here. And what she's done is this. She's carved, the corner already existed because I cut the corner when I sent her the block. But what she doesn't know is what's our house style and how much to carve away here. So when Ayumi-san printed this, there's a ledge that is still here. Some workshops like to have this ledge here for support for the paper. And also over on the other side here, the registration mark itself is there, but there's also a bump, a ledge. It's really easy to help put the paper in. Then when you're sliding your paper in, it goes in and you can lock it with your thumb. Says he, trying to find the, you can put the paper in and lock it with your thumb, but if areas are really close, of course it picks up red pigment and blotches. So our house style is not to leave these ridges. So Dave here is now going to get rid of them. She sent me all the blocks here to get rid of them. Let me find my camera location. We're going to work here. Just a sec, just a sec, just a sec. Someone says, my blocks on Ome are on open shelves. Aren't they at risk of falling during an earthquake? Yeah, I guess they could. They're all bundled up pretty well. If they fall off, they're going to fall off as a bundle. They have protection on the front and back. They're not that high up. I don't think they could fall down, I guess. I don't know. They're not just like sitting there like a bottle of beer on the shelf, you know, they're stuffed and jammed in and bashed together. I don't really think they're in any danger of... Paper is out, yes, the paper is out for 3 printers. Thank you for the reminder again. There's 3 people coming today. Ishikawa-san is not. Those prints you just saw were from her. She dropped those off last night. She'll be off now for a couple of days. She worked very, very hard to get those prints done. So Ishikawa-san's not here today. Rei-chan is doing, what is she doing? She finished her owls. I told you she was doing a batch of owls. She's finished those. She started something else. I don't remember actually. Rei-chan's doing another one of the gift prints because we're really trying to stock up on everything in the gift print catalog right now. So she's doing a gift print. I don't remember which one. Sugi-san is doing her batch of this month's print, the one that we'll be doing the 21st. And Ayumi-san is doing this. She needs these this morning. Why wait till now to sharpen the kento? What? What do you mean? She's been doing test printing. I know now that the test printing is pretty much finished, we're ready to start the main printing, and it's the last little cleanup and get ready to get going. And we've still got one block in reserve on this print. Look at this. It's a full face that's prepared, and it hasn't had anything carved on it yet. Ninja guys are getting ready. Kawasaki's on an in-house carver. She is a Moko Hong Kong carver. She's our employee, but she lives in Kobe. So we tried at the beginning to get her to move to Tokyo and to come here just to work inside the building here every day, but she was not the tiniest bit interested in that. She lives down in Kobe. She was born down there, I think. She lives down in Kobe with her family, with her brother, I believe. They live together as the two of them. I think she's single or has passed that part of her life. I don't know. I've only met her once, back at the beginning. She came down here to talk to us at the beginning when we first, it's a long story. She had been a carver and then she had, quote, retired. There wasn't any work going on over in those years, and she had quit the business. And I think she actually even sold her tools and stuff. And we had heard that there was such a person as this carver in Kobe, so we found out how and where and contacted her. And her first reaction was, no, I'm not going back to do all that again. I'm sure you've got work today, but you won't have work tomorrow, and it's just no point in getting started. It's not a useful career. You know, conversation like this. And I had a bit of trouble what to say, because I couldn't really promise her that Moko Hong Kong will be in business forever and ever and ever, and like if we start up now with us, we can keep you, you know, in work. Because what guarantee do I have that we're still going to be here? You know? But I outlined what was going on, that we had a pretty good plan. We were up and running. We were doing good things. And would she give it a try? And she did. She came on board and gave it a try. Got herself some tools, and that was, I don't know, that would be about 10 years ago. The earliest work she did for us was the portrait series for the Ukiyo-e heroes. And it's been happy ever after. She's quietly and peacefully done work for us from her home in Kobe. Nice distinctive shoe sound. Is that a tourist? One of those suitcases going down the street? I guess this is the first day, or yesterday was the first day under the new tourism regime. I don't know if there's going to be a change. People don't need the test anymore. They still need a visa. They still need to be part of a group tour, no individual tourism. So I don't know what's going to change. But, and the joke about the limits have been increased from 20,000 a month to 50,000 a month. But in the last 5 months, only 8,000 people have made it through anyway. So they're nowhere near actually getting near these limits, which are completely fake and imaginary at the moment. So the key point is the visa. You've got to get a visa, and you've got to be nominally part of a tourist agency. So that's what's going to still kill it. So we're expecting no change right now. No change, no change. once we get this Bonalodi print finished, we're going to put a good color breakdown of this up, because this is really turning out to be interesting. I don't have a copy of it right now to show you the test print, but as you can see from this one, look at this. You've got stuff like this on this print, a complete, you saw the print, it's actually a night scene. And look at this, there's a yellow underlaying everything. All the reds have yellow underneath. This is where the lamps are going to glow. The only place you'll see this yellow left over is where the lamps, the lights, the lanterns are. Actually, speaking about this, the Shinhanga print and the color overlays and color registrations, there's actually a bit of news on that front, something else. We have action happening today on the next print in the 8 Cats series, the print known as Evening Bell, which I think probably most of you have never seen yet, is progressing along its way to being published. The blocks were nominally ready quite some time ago. We've had 2 proof sessions on the block set. Haven't got a good print out of them yet. And today, this afternoon, I will be taking the blocks and paper with me over to an outside printer to get a third opinion on this, to have them printed by an outside printer. I'm gonna go and visit Numabe-san. He did a lot of ukiyo-e heroes printing for us in the early years of that project. He's the printer who does all the current Yoshida family prints. He does all the Toshi reproductions that are in the market these days. They're all printed by Numabe Shinkichi and his son. And I booked them a while ago for 2 days, for today and tomorrow. Actually, they're probably going to work through the weekend on it, but whatever, that's up to them, not up to me. And today I am taking over to their place the blocks along with the current level of proofing that we've done. And he is going to run up another proof for me based on his experience at working on the Yoshida prints. He's the Tokyo's number one Shinhanga printer at present, obviously. So cat number 4, Evening Bell, is now actually moving forward. And that means that it's time for Dave here to make a decision on cat number 5. Contracted out. We just need another opinion. We have struggled, to speak honestly about this, we have struggled with the color preparation of this design. We got a Photoshop color layout from the designer. We worked up a set of color blocks that we thought would work, and we tried them, and they made a kind of interesting print. It's a dark alley with a light and a sushi place and a cat sitting, but we didn't think it was good enough. So printer B upstairs here did another set of proofs. We worked out a couple of different, carved another color block, did some more. And again, it looked nice, it looked okay, but I didn't feel that it popped, that it had enough depth. At some point in the future, we may show all these stages, but at the moment, we can't show these stages. It's just not interesting for the printers to have they can't print freely and do their work freely if they think that Dave is going to show all their tests everywhere. So, you know my policy. I can't show you all these partway along tests. They have to have the confidence to know that Dave is not going to throw their stuff out in the world before it's ready to go. So anyway, so we've had 2 extensive proofing sessions, and Dave has looked at them and said, no, I think we can do better than this. I think there's more in there. So this time around, I'm sending it out to Numabe-san, who has a different mindset from me, and he has lots more experience at printing Shinhanga prints, and we are going to see what he comes up with. And then I'll sit back with the 3 proofs that we've had, and Dave will try and make a decision on how to move forward with this, whether his version will be just right or whether it needs more conversation, I don't know. But that's where we stand. So as far as the 8 Cats series then, the Evening Snow, the Night Rain, this is Evening Bell, and Descending Geese, those are done and cooked. But the other 4 themes, I'm not going to try and remember the other 4 themes, whatever, are not decided at all. And although there are lots of interesting designs that have been sent to us, there's nothing in there that I'm going to jump up and say, oh my God, I've got to publish that one. So I am still open to suggestion on all the other 4 designs. Nothing else has been finalized. I guess I should be making a new video or a new update or something about this to tell people about this, that those 4 designs are still in play. There's some good stuff in there. People are thinking, what? I sent you a great design. There is some interesting stuff in there, but nothing that grabbed me and said, you've got to do this one, Dave. I didn't see anything like that yet. Or I've got to qualify that. An image that said, Dave, you have got to do this one, but the image was of a type that we actually could do as a woodblock, the resources, etc., how many colors, how we do the breakdowns, how many gradations, this sort of thing. So 2 things are in play. There are some interesting designs there, but I still have to look at this with a practical viewpoint. And it's a bit sad for me. There are some wonderful images that I want to do for the themes that we've already done. For Night Rain, there was 3 of them that I had real trouble picking between them because some of the other ones were so nice. And a couple of the people who have sent in Descending Geese or Night Rain or whatever, there are some really quite disappointed people in that group because their designs were also very, very good. But I can only pick one, so we've got this problem too. Okay, let's get some more carving done. There's a question here, and I'm not quite sure how I can answer this fairly. Someone's saying, how do you manage your back, Dave? You weren't here last week, but whatever, okay. If you'd asked me this a little while ago, I'd say, my back, I got no problem with my back at all, it's fine. But I did, I threw out my back in what I think is not related to my work. I threw it out about 2 weeks ago, and I was laid up for a week because I couldn't sit up and move, you know. So my back situation is not perfect, but I think it's not related to work. You know. The thing maybe you're not seeing is I don't these days sit here 8 hours a day doing this. Back in the day when I was doing this for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I was doing it in Ome, where my workshop is, and I had a bar mounted on the wall above my head. Actually, there was a sunken ceiling. So all the time I was printing or carving, half an hour or an hour, put the tool down, grab this bar, and I had a routine. I used to just pull my body up, stretch left, stretch right, twist left, twist right, like a 3, 4, 5 minute routine, let go of the bar and get back to it. I don't have that here, but neither am I carving here many, many, many hours at a time. Also too, there's no tension involved here, you know. I'm not like stressed in doing this. I'm just sitting here quite peacefully. There's no peel on this block. We talked about this a few days ago when I laid this down. This paper is very thin, gumpy paper. I don't know, people are talking about now wrists or back or whatever. I don't, you know, all I can say is that if you are starting to have problems with something, don't do it for that long. Just do it for a while, take a break and do something else. You know? Especially if you're not so experienced at it. If you're just starting something, you can't do it for 8 hours a day. I mean, you wouldn't try that if you were trying jogging or swimming or anything. So just bit by bit, don't overdo it until you're built up to be able to handle it. There's no magic formula here. You know. Basically a good ergonomic bench and workspace and structure, and then work into it bit by bit by bit. Back in Omei, I could do it for literally 12 hours a day and just walk away, but I can't do that anymore, clearly. Okay, here we go. This is the green block. It's going to add some green color to this print with overlays. For example, the background here is done with green, but I think another color is also going to come on top of it to tint it. This is green. It's going to be some green colored fruit, and we have a green leaf. The green on the spine of the fish here is going to be a combination. That pattern along the back edge of the fish is on the green block here. The same pattern is over on the brown block, partly. It's also here, this is the deep red block for the red soup bowl. That same fish pattern is on the red. So it's going to get a bit of green, bit of red, bit of brown. I don't even know, it might also be on one of the other ones, I don't remember. So we've got a bunch of overlaid colors here. Okay, let's get cutting. Am I on target? Not quite. The August prints, yes, thank you, thank you. They're fun, weren't they? You saw it happen here first, and then up they went. Kubota-san did a really, really nice job. Those were printed by one of our outside printers, Kubota-san. Will I use silver mica on the fish? No, no special. This is just normal woodblock printing. Not at all. We don't need bling on these things. No bling, no bling, no bling. Does Kubota-san print for anyone else? Not in the past. These days, no. He used to work for Adachi. He was a salaryman for Adachi for many, many years. Then about, was it 10, 12 years ago? He left Adachi, became independent, took orders or took work from many other people. And sometime after that, he joined with some business partners and set up what they call the New Editions Gallery. And the lady who was the salesman there went out and got new ideas and sponsorship from contemporary artists, sent them to a carver, and Kubota-san printed it. Their business lasted a few years, and he did all the modern prints that they published over those years. This was about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I guess. That business is no longer in business, and he is now just a quiet, independent printer working at home only on jobs that he feels that he specifically wants to do. He just simply, he's doing our work, and when one of them gets nearly finished, he comes to our manager page, puts in his request for the next job, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And he knows that I know what kind of stuff. He doesn't want big prints. He doesn't want massive quantities of large prints. He wants small scale stuff that he can do easily. We just broke the knife on the first stroke of the day. Look at that. The knife just broke on the first stroke. I put it in there and she broke. Click. Let's find the piece. I can't see it. Where's the piece? Just right here. Oh, there it is. It's in there. It's right there. It broke at the end of that stroke. Look at that. There it is. Talking too much? I don't know. The very first stroke of the day. Look at that. Let's get the piece out of there. It's disappeared. I cannot find the broken piece of knife. It is broke though, you can see. Broken on a straight line. So, other one bites the dust, bites the block. Is the blade from the would-be knife kits? Yes, yes. To be honest, yes. Although having said that, the way that this blade has behaved is not staggeringly different from any of the blades I get over the years. What are the 4 views of cats you were still looking for? I don't remember. Go to the cats page, 8viewsofcats.com, whatever, it's over there. We've done night snow, evening rain, evening bell, and descending geese are done. So what's left is clearing weather, autumn moon, give me some help here. Clearing weather, autumn moon, returning sails, and one more. I don't remember. Evening glow, you got it. There we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't remember. Eight Views of Cats has really been at the front of my concern for the past few months. Not. I'm sorry. Do I mind what species of cat is displayed? I have never given that the slightest consideration. I don't even know. I wouldn't really even recognize many species. So I have to say I haven't thought about that at all. Is there some kind of idea that there's species I shouldn't be showing or should be or whatever? That's the first time I think I've been asked that, and that's the first time I've ever thought about it. And someone's saying not the dog weasel type. Yeah, okay. It's got to be. I have to mention it's got to actually be a recognizable cat, right? So I had honestly never thought about that. No idea. I don't know if it's something like super weird or whatever that's going to weird everybody out, then it would probably weird me out too, and maybe I wouldn't like that design. I don't know, but no, I hadn't thought about it. Okay, what we've done here is I've pulled back the angle of the blade. Just give me a second here, show you what's going on here. I've made the tip of the blade less acute and a bit more obtuse. Hang on a sec. I'll show you what I mean. Just a moment. Let me get it done first here. Okay. Okay, what I said about the angle. Oh, here's the stuff. Given that we've broken this thing now a few times in a row, find a piece of paper here. We've got our carving knife. Now there's the two types of steel. There's our blade. And we've now broken it. It's broken here, and it's broken here, and it's broken here again. We've now done this like 3-4 times in a row, we've broken it. So it could be that I've simply, for the level of finesse that I'm doing this with, and for the level of hardness in this piece of wood, there's just not enough steel here. So what I've done now is, instead of this angle acute, I'm going to exaggerate. This angle now has become more obtuse. Whereas before it might have been like this, now it's been like this. So at any given distance here, we have more steel. This might have been 0.3 millimeters. Now it's going to be 0.5 millimeters. Now there's good sides and bad sides about this. The angle is more obtuse now. So if you're carving straight lines, it carves straight lines much easier. But if I was trying to go around tiny circles, you can't go around tiny circles with a blade that's too obtuse. You need a blade that is really, really nice and acute. Now this image, the one I'm going to be carving now for the next little while here, there are no detailed tiny circles here. So let's just go with the common sense method of doing this now. Put a bit more a bit more obtuse angle on this. Try and minimize the breakage, and just be really careful as I'm going around the curves I do go around, to try and not break the blade as it goes around. So we'll see. And I still haven't found the broken piece. The first rule of broken blades is to get rid of the broken piece so that you don't sharpen your blade, put it back into the wood, and hit the broken piece of steel. But I dug around and tried to find it. I thought I saw it in there. Dug around, and I guess it must just have flipped away, because I don't see it there anywhere. So I think we're okay to move ahead. Sorry about the distraction. And the knife is no longer a cute knife. But for going straight, whoa, this thing is now going to go straight like a rocket. Especially if, instead of holding it vertically, if I lean it down, can you see so much of the blade now? Look at this. I couldn't turn that corner if I wanted to, held at this angle. That thing's just going to go straight. Okay, we're up and running at last. It's only been 45 minutes. We have a show and tell today, something new, a package that just arrived the other day. So it's going to be a Yahoo auction pickup piece we're going to look at today. And I should have actually studied up more on it, because there's a bunch of characters on it that I can't read this time. They're actually quite simple characters, but the people who designed this particular group of prints got fancy with the graphic art. This is the 1920s. And they're doing kind of Art Deco kanji, which makes some of them, for a newbie like me, it makes some of them quite difficult to read. So I hope we have people on the stream today who've got some good chops at reading some kanji. I'll be able to get a chunk of them, but there will be many of them that I will not be able to get, so I need some help today. So if Rangaksha or Kantar maybe, or whoever is, anybody who's better than me at this can help out, it will be appreciated. We'll see. They're not going to be deep, exotic, difficult to understand kanji, but they are just simply, the graphic design is really very nice, which is one reason why I picked up this print set. It seems to be beautifully designed. It's actually very interesting. But for me, it's going to be difficult to read some of these. And we need to know what they say. So today's show and tell is going to be kanji school. Hopefully. Is that one of the Ninja Boys? Excuse me for the interruption here, but that's a new bike sound. Is that one of the Ninja Boys? I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah. This is a ninja arriving for work on a motorbike / motor scooter. How many ninjas come to work on a motorbike? Not sure what other news there is outside. The Ninja Boy there, you saw him come up on his bike. He was chatting with a couple in white clothing there. They're the couple who run the bar next to the Ninja place. And at the moment they're undergoing renovations, and it really seems to be massive renovation. Trucks have come along and pulled out tons of garbage. It's a skeleton renovation. They're right back to the walls. It's going to take them a while to get that finished. They're still, I haven't even seen trucks bringing new stuff yet. They've still been just taking away old bits and pieces. So it's going to be a long scale renovation, I think. And my own routine is about to get disrupted. I went to the pool this morning, and I'll be going again tomorrow. And that's the last day I'll be able to swim for 10 days. The pool is going down for annual major maintenance, replacement of the water, new paint job, you name it. And they've combined it, the building itself, nothing to do with the fitness center, but the overall building, the department store thing, the mall, that's closing for 2 days. So the pool has done their own renovations overlapping part of that. But it'll be gone. I can swim tomorrow, and that's the last time until the 21st, I think. So a bunch of us today were chatting about it while we were waiting for the pool to open this morning. We were waiting together in the lobby, and it's the pool people, plus it's also the guys who do upstairs in the jogging and treadmills and all that kind of stuff. And the joggers were telling us this morning, come on, your pool's going to be closed for 10 days, you know, don't give up, just come on upstairs, you know, join the real exercise people upstairs, you know. And we're like, just I have no interest in going up there and jogging on a treadmill instead of being in the pool. I like the swimming so much, you know. But 10 days without it. See, going around that corner, if the knife, the way it was sharpened yesterday, I could have gone around that corner in one piece. But now it's too obtuse, and there's no way I can go around a corner. This is almost a 90-degree corner, just in a very tight space. So there's no way with a blade sharpened like this that I can go through there. So we went right into the corner, and now I'm going to come out of the corner in two separate strokes. But this is a color block. We're not worried about the shape of the line there. So there will be an actual jog in that line, but it doesn't matter because this is a color block. This one's fine. This isn't going to be a curve. This is going to be a corner, straight in. Notch it and move on. Pop out some triangles. Back to nature, use the river. Yeah, like it's only this deep. I'm going to be able to swim in there. So climbing, I really don't have any interest in that one. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Have I read the chat from the 18th, the AMA? No, I have not. I've been busy. Sorry. I know. It's on my list of things. I've copied it and pasted it where I can see it, but I just haven't. Sorry. Seems my inbox, you know, there's just stuff in the inbox now that should be answered, you know. I don't know. Ayando-san, hello. Good morning. I'm okay. No, I went to bed about 9 o'clock, early. Went down and woke up at 6.
すごい。
Sugoi, you see, can't believe that. So, because yesterday, I don't know how much to talk about this on stream, I was tired yesterday. I was tired. I was a bunch of stuff. She was waiting for me to do this, check these prints, do this, do that, do this. In the morning, I carved here, thinking I'll do that work in the afternoon. I go up, I have lunch, go to my room for just a little napper, like 30 minutes usually.
30 minutes
Usually about 30 minutes. About 1 o'clock, I went into my room for a little napper and came staggering out at like 5:30. You guys were getting ready to go home, For some reason, a 30-minute nap ended up to be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock for 4.5 hours.
Right.
And just down. So I chatted with them for a little while before they went home, and she says, "You're not going to sleep very well tonight." And I'm thinking, I guess I'm probably not going to sleep very well tonight. But I had a good big dinner, and around 9 o'clock or 9:30, that's it, I'm sleepy. Went to bed, and the alarm woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was really worried when I opened the door of your
Yeah, I know.
room
I'm
and you
sorry.
were
I'm
sitting
sorry. I'm
up,
sorry.
But like you're,
I was.
I don't know, half awake, half
Yep.
asleep.
Nope. Zonked. Just I was zonked. So. I think just simply caught up with me for a little while. Although we were chatting about this, they think I haven't been eating enough, and they could be right. That weight thing, I got my weight back down to where it was supposed to be, all those years and stuff. And they've been concerned I haven't been eating. So.
You haven't been eating.
I have. I've been eating well. I can't start this in front of everybody else. I did the calorie counting thing for a few days just to try and show them, look, here's what I've been eating. I'm not like dying or something.
You said you've been eating 2,200 calories?
Well, the day we counted was 1850 or something like this. The show the
right.
next day was 1975 or
So-
something. So, and then the day after that, I had a big giant a beef bowl thing from 7. So anyway, just around 2,000 calories.
Thinking about what you have been eating, like
Anyway. So. You guys can bug me about that later, but whatever. So. You're not supposed to be here yet. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. So.
It's exactly 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can come in the door now. Okay, you got a bunch of things for me, right, this morning. Okay, but I need your help with one thing today, because the last few days, now excuse me a minute, the last few days I have meant to get that block ready for Kawasaki-san.
True.
And I didn't do it. Didn't do it yesterday, didn't do the day before. And she's now in her 4th day of waiting for work. So we got a professional carver sitting there, and there's been no work on her bench for 4 days. So
That's not
today, that's got to be the priority. So when I finish here, I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee, and I need your help to chain me, whatever, help me with this. Get Kawasaki's work done first.
Okay.
And then, I know you've got other priorities, right? You wanna cut those prints, you wanna trim that stuff and everything else.
Right.
And I gotta go to Nuwabi-san's place this afternoon.
Oh, that's
But
true. You're still
before,
going?
I know they're expecting me this afternoon.
Okay.
But let's make it this way, we have got to get Kawasaki-san's work ready
All right.
this morning.
May I ask you one thing before Kawasaki-san's work,
Right,
though? Can you please create an invoice for the next box?
The FedEx box. Okay, well, when I'm finished, I'll get a coffee, and I'll go and join you, and you tell me what to do. But
Okay.
just.
Okay.
She's going to be the boss today,
One day
whatever. Because I
Monday.
have failed 3, 4, 5 days in a row. I have completely and totally
Right.
failed to get stuff done.
The invoice for FedEx, then Kawasaki.
Up to you. This. Yeah.
Okay,
You get your stuff ready. Yep.
Okay, this.
We're okay for time, are we? What is it? 9 o'clock. Yeah, of course, you just arrived here. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know. I should have asked her too to help me with the show and tell. She can read that stuff. I should have asked her to hang around. Tell you what, if we have trouble with this, if it turns out that there's nobody at all on the stream, Rangaksha or somebody, if there's nobody to help me with those kanji, we may call her. The printer interesting though, they're fun. They're a fun set. When I saw them on the auction last week, I thought, oh, ho, 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 ho. Look at that, they look like so much fun. So we'll see. You guys are quiet now. Good, good, good. So this is the green block here. We mentioned that. It's going to be the green for these fruit and the green for this leaf. And I was trying to figure out what to do. We've got this soup bowl, which is a lacquered soup bowl. And the inside of it will be red. This part of the bowl will be bright red. You know, these lacquered soup bowls are sort of dark on the outside. And the inside they have this red color, and then the soup and stuff is inside. So on the red block that we have somewhere around here, which one is which? That's the brown block. On the red block, where is it? Yeah, we have the red block. We have the whole area of the bowl, inside and out, is done in red. So the inside, that area just right here, will show bright red, but the outside also is red underlay, and it's also the outside of the bowl here. Just the outside area has the fish color underlay, and it's got the green underlay, and it's got part of the brown. So the outside of the bowl, we're going to try and build up that rich tone of the outside of this bowl with red, green, brown, and gray. And this is not really an optimal way to do this, but we're just trying to get a dense color texture there first, and then we'll have a go at pulling one of those out to see if it helps get what we want. It's sort of what's the word? It's a bit of a game trying to maximize the number of different tones in the thing without using like 8 blocks. And part of the reason I'm doing this is I'm being a little bit forced to do this by the printers, because the September print, the one that I'm not showing you just yet, went way, way out of hand the other way. And I'll show you when it's ready to show you next month. But it was supposed to be, I think, 5 or 6 colors, and it ended up being more than double that. And some of them were very, very, very super delicate. They were blocks on top of blocks on top of blocks to repair and figure out something that wasn't working. from a publisher's point of view, the finance guy, from my point of view, that September print, the one I can't show you, was a disaster. It's a glorious print. It looks incredible. The work is skillful. The print itself is a masterpiece. But from the point of view of the guy sitting in the corner office, unfortunately, it is a complete total disaster. So he is trying to make up for that now with the next two prints. This one, the October design, and the November design, that is going to be 4 blocks. Endless compromises. There's just no way around it. That's life. That's just the way this business works. You know. Just a little here. What's the question? Honzuki no Gekkokujo. Is this something ancient from the old days? I'm sorry, I'm not recognizing the reference here. I'm sorry. I don't recognize the reference here. My knowledge doesn't go to that. I guess, are we talking about a very old type of book or something? I'm sorry. Or is this something brand new? What do you think about them not using woodblock printing? So I don't know. It's a manga. Why would they use woodblock printing? Sorry, you'll have to explain more. I don't know the reference. Is the November set planned out yet? The November set is indeed planned. Johnson is almost through the key block. He's ready to start carving color blocks on the November set. The November set, hold on to your socks. So we are going to finish this year with a bang. The one I'm doing right now, actually, the October one, could turn out to be one of the weakest ones in the set. I don't know. It all depends on how these color blocks turn out. But November and December, September, November, December are going to be fantastic. This green fruit is going to have some little green lines in it here in the middle here. That's what's going on here. So let me get these lines finished and then we'll do our S and T. As you can tell from the sound in the background here, today is the cans and bottles recycling day. Our staff put them out last night. Our own, we don't have many bottles, but we put some cans out and PET bottles and stuff like that. And as usual, earlier this morning when I was on the way out to the pool, I saw the scavengers are out there picking up as many of the cans as they can. And the cans are probably pretty much already gone, which is why all you're hearing is bottle sound back there now. The community scavengers take care of the cans because that's the part with the value. Okay, we didn't get a whole lot here done today, I'm sorry, because of all the interruptions at the beginning of the stream and now fooling around. But we've got this, the carving work is started now on this color block. And you can see, this one's already cut, waiting to be cleared. This is cut, waiting to be cleared. I'll cut this, won't be happening today. So when we think about it, coming up this Saturday, you're probably gonna see this Saturday. I'll be finished cutting this, clearing. I'll be clearing one of these faces on Saturday. That'll be Saturday's work for this stream. Will be probably some persuading first and then some clearing work. Okay. What are we talking about? 30, our blocks here, you can see the structure of our blocks. It's about 4 to 5 millimeters of cherry on a plywood core with another same. I think they're about 4 millimeters to show. That's 5, and that one's 4 something. So we've got a little bit of whatever. This face is 5 millimeters, which is the goal. And this face is 4.5. So the person who did the planing had to take off a little bit more than he planned in order to get a smooth surface. And these are our blocks. The overall goal is 23 millimeters, simply from tradition. This is 24.5 or something, but 23 was the standard for the blocks all through most of the 20th century. Back in the old days, in the Edo period, there were far fewer standards. But 23 has been, certainly the post-war period, all the blocks we see, 23 has been the nominal standard for this. They dry them at about 30. After they've been taken from the slabs, the blocks, before the plywood days, the blocks are dried at about 30, the panels, and they warp a bit. So then you put them on the jointer and planer, bring them down to about 23 to run. But it's not a magic number, it doesn't matter. In the Edo time, they were thicker to start, but they would plane it down after one use and work with thinner blocks for the second use. So most of the blocks that we have left from the Edo time are not 23, they are much, much thinner. They're 10, 12, something like that. Most of the leftover blocks from the old days. That 23 standard is just post-war. Yeah, about an inch, I guess. Okay, what we have here is something small. As you know, you can probably guess what it's going to be. It's more match label prints. But it's a fun group. It's a fun group of prints here today. Let's have a look. And these are from that same guy, that same dude who has come across a massive stash of them and who is dribbling them onto Yahoo auctions bit by bit by bit. He recently started jacking up the prices, and the people who had been buying from him backed off because he got the idea, oh, I've got a bunch of people, I can hook them in and reel them in, which he did, but then he took advantage of that, really jacked up the prices, and all his potential fish said, sorry guy, you must be dreaming, no way. So he's got a bunch of those on Yahoo auctions now that are just sitting there not moving because the prices are way too high. He started to put out some more recently with more reasonable prices. I think he's come back to his senses. And this batch went up last week at a reasonable price, and I grabbed it because the prints themselves were really interesting. Interesting for a couple of reasons. Let's have a look at these. Okay, before we look at it, let me grab that piece of paper again. We talked about the kanji. This is going to be a kanji lesson today for all of us. If I just showed you something like this, let me try and I'm not going to try and draw this as a kanji. I'm just going to make a shape on the paper here. Okay, those of you who do read kanji, if you just saw this shape all by itself. Now, if you knew that it was coming up to be a letter, you could perhaps read this. It's very, very stylized. It's taken, all the shape and flow of the lines has been taken away. All we have left is a graphic thing. And it's going to be, someone says mon. Okay, the first time chat's got it here. Shnubi has got it. It's actually the character for month, gets it. And the normal way it would be written, you're looking at a guy who can't do this properly, so. But the point, I'm just trying to get the point across here. A normal way of writing it, I'm a lefty, so I can't do it. It's a downstroke, then it's an across stroke, which goes to a downstroke with a foot, and then you've got two lines that come across in the middle. And this is the normal way. It's got to look, with more character, which Dave doesn't know how to do. So the thing itself, it's got a foot, it's got a curved downstroke, it's got a corner where it goes around, and then it's got two strokes up. And all we've got left here is the graphic shape. That's the point I'm trying to make here, because the prints we're going to look at today are done this way. And they have been left with me. Actually, some of them are now quite difficult to read because of that. Okay, these are nice. These are nice. We don't have a date, but we're looking at 1920, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there. We have a set of 12 prints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, with a cover sheet. And you do indeed see someone that looks like Santa Claus. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. Let's start at the top corner here, because there is a cover sheet. Are we going to be able to get in close enough to see this? It will focus. Okay. We have the title of the series, which is Nenchu Gyoji Juni Kagetsu. Nenchu Gyoji. Nenchu is through the course of the year. Gyoji is things that happen. And then Juni Kagetsu is 12 months. So we have a set of 12 prints of annual events, stuff that happens during the year. And then we have the name of the sponsor here. Iwasaki Eganobu, I'm not sure the pronunciation here. Iwasaki's the guy's name, and then I'm sorry, something Nobu, which I can't read here. And we have a bunch of pictures of events that happen during the year, and they are all drawn in a super interesting way, and they're labeled in the kanji that I mentioned. And this is first sky month. How are you going to pronounce it? No idea. And it's obviously, this is going to be the January print, and kite flying is the event that happens in January. We have the guy's name again backwards here, and it doesn't look like Iwasaki this time. Oh yeah, Iwasaki Kuenobu, Hisainobu. I don't know the pronunciation here of the guy's name. Anyway, here is let's step through the year and then come back to them as we need to. And we have all of them are labeled with something month, something month. The first sky month, whatever. It's the. Can I get in a bit more? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit tighter without losing focus. Let's see. Yes, we can do that. Here we are. And I have no idea if these have been glued down in the right order. Are we looking at the February print here? I don't know. Let's just go through. we had one. This is clearly the new year because of the kite flying. Also too, what looks like gray printing here for this lettering is not. It's done in silver. All the borders and the kanji are done in aluminum powder to give it a bling. Let's step through. This could be the February print if these things have been done in order. Let's see. Back up to the top. Hinamatsuri is May, I think, not March, but let's just get through these things. This is the Doll Festival. It's supposed to be the Emperor and Empress, quite chubby. What are we looking at? Oh, it's a train! Look, 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 look. It's a steam train, right? Done in Western chiaroscuro style. Look at this. It's a steam train. I like this. What's the red thing? I get a train and I get steam coming out. Oh, the red thing is a valise. It's a suitcase, right? There's a suitcase and a travel bag of some kind. This is maybe the train at a platform. This is seashells, of course. Somebody's collecting seashells. Digging, I don't know if they're clams, oysters, whatever. You tell me. No idea. I guess we're at an onsen. We have a village here at the bottom, and we have steam, I believe, coming up. Someone's asking about the other paper. They're mounted. They've been double. They've been through 2 albums. Somebody must have glued them down onto a first album. The second guy chopped them out of the first album and he glued them by the corners onto his album. So we're looking at the second owner here, and Dave is now the third owner. He's now going to try and get those off all that previous paper. Bamboo fishing pole, there. I lost track of what months we're supposed to be here. I don't know. It really, I think, looks like they're not really in order, but let's see. And we have some misregistration here. The background block has been misregistered. So you can see the background block. It's off her body at the left, and the color has come into her body on the right and in her elbow. So the background block didn't quite make it here. Yeah, we are. We're looking at we've got this. They're older representations of the month names, and actually maybe they have just created their own representation for the month names here. So yes, it's a set of 12, and they're sort of in the right order, but not in the right order. I'm open to suggestions at the moment. When we're through, we'll come back again. This is clearly autumn, so this could be October. This could be September. It could still be September. This could be October. This could be November. It looks kind of generic. And then this, I presume, is our December print. So, but this is interesting because this idea of the Jolly Santa Claus, when did this start? This is the Coca-Cola company, right? Is that in America I mean, the Germans had this guy in a red suit and a beard, I think, and then the Coca-Cola company did what they did with the fat jolly ho guy. But this is 1920s, these prints. 1920s, somewhere on there. So let's see, this could be December. Okay, let's just go through. It could be November. It's sort of generic. This could easily be October, no problem, it's autumn. That would make this September. Little bit, well, she's got a fan. September wouldn't have been my first choice, but it is still very hot here in Japan in September. That would make this, if they were in order, that would make this August. Somebody's going on summer holidays on a dangerous mountain road. This would be July. Fishing, again, generic view. This would be June. Somebody's visiting an onsen. That would make this May. Is that the correct season for shelling? This would be April. Again, some of these are not specifically seasonal. March, I would have put this at May because it's the Doll Festival, but whatever. Then that would be February, and again, this is kind of generic. So, and this is January. So I'm thinking they're a little bit mixed up, and that the guy who got these and stuck them in this album wasn't quite sure, just as Dave here wasn't quite sure what the order should be. Is the Doll Festival March? San, go, go. Am I confused about the two? The boys' festival is 5-5, the girls is 3-3. Okay, if that's the case then, 1, 2, 3, this would be dead on. This would be March. Okay. So maybe we've got this. April, May, June, July, August, summer holiday time. Did John say, or somebody says he recognizes the car? I don't know. Again, this is pre-war. So whatever kind of car you've got is something that would have to be available in the 1920s. This is not, did Datsun exist at that time? I don't know. That would be September. Now the designs, I don't know, are they all designed by the same guy? I don't know. Some of them are quite simplistic, and then we have that train, which just is so unlike everything else in the set here. No idea. Very, very, very heavily influenced with European woodblock prints of previous centuries. I think the characters here are reading left to right, I believe. I mean, I guess you see I've had trouble with this. It would be something ski, something gets it, something ski. This would be, you know, reading left to right on these titles, I believe. Although this one reads right to left, top to bottom. Okay, what we'll do is we'll leave this here for now, and after we shut the stream down here, I will get some reference from other staff here, and we'll get translations on these, and we'll bring them back when we do our next show and tell on Saturday. We'll do a new show and tell, but we'll come back and have a peek at these again, and by then I will have the readings of the months here ready. And somebody's mentioned this, the embossing. That first one seems to be printed on a different kind of paper. It's got darker outlines, and it's got clearly richer, deeper paper with the embossing. So my guess is the set of 12 would maybe be done on a single sheet, and that would have been done perhaps separately. And I really don't know how to pronounce the guy's name. Iwasaki Hisanobu, Kunonobu, Kuenobu, Hisainobu. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Okay, I'll bring you more details in the next stream as I learn more about these. Thank you. Thank you for putting up. they're fun. They're different from other ones that I've seen, which is why I went ahead and grabbed these. And they weren't expensive at all. It was about, I think it was 1,500 yen or something for the auction here. Okay. All right, thank you very much. I am now out of here for a couple of days. I'll be back Saturday morning. Almost certainly we'll be doing the final carving on those color blocks for the October print series. And then following that, my work for the rest of the week will probably get us back to surfing, I guess, once this block is ready. Okay, guys, thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Any action here? Just people strolling. It's going to rain today, too. Rain is coming. Okay, bye for now. See you next time.